Welcome, citizens, to yet another... God damn it. I don't know why I always hang up. Like... All right. Clear.
I say we leave it.
Oh, I will.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Oh.
Welcome, citizens, to yet another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes podcast. I'm Travis,
I'm Patrick.
and we are here for... I think we're just going to rename it the James Bond podcast because...
That's all we've done so far. But now we're watching the real James Bond.
That's right. We're kicking it into gear.
Goldfinger.
Nice.
Oh, that was pretty hot.
Yeah.
I like
So now
that.
you know what I was... why I was so excited to do this one.
Yeah, it was the one that felt the most like Austin Powers.
Yeah. There's a lot of Austin Powers in this.
I don't know, it's just everything that's you've heard about James Bond.
Right.
Like, you know.
The cliches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was the first real, like,
Right.
hokey Bond cliched filled movie that I've been hoping for.
Yeah. But I think at the time it probably wasn't hokey.
No, yeah,
You know?
obviously.
But-
It's just as time's gone, everyone's ripped it off.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So we gotta get the what is Goldfinger all about?
Let me tell you that. Bond is investigating gold smuggling by gold magnate Auric Goldfinger and eventually uncovers Goldfinger's plan to attack the United States bullion depository at Fort Knox.
So he doesn't have a finger made of gold.
Correct.
Disappointing.
Or a Midas touch, as one would think.
Okay. So he's literally just smuggling gold with his fingers, aka henchmen.
Exactly.
Okay. Makes sense.
All right.
Moving on.
So we don't even need to do this movie. Let's just move on to Thunderball.
Yep. All right. James Bond finds a guy stealing gold, smuggling gold, sorry, and does his thing, bangs a couple chicks, and that's about it. All right.
Sounds good.
And thanks for joining us on another adventure. All right. So I guess we'll get this one queued up.
Yeah. So we are on the Blu-ray menu, and we are going to initiate mission in 3, 2, 1. Oh wait,
No, we usually wait for
the
that lion.
The
Yeah.
lion. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. God damn it.
An old age. 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. Blu-ray disc.
Anti-piracy.
I always thought they'd change their name to 21st Century. I thought they did at one point, but maybe I was high.
Something made the joke of 21st century. I don't remember. Maybe it's the Futurama credits, like at the end of it. They say...
Maybe that's where I saw it, because I thought I
Yeah.
saw it somewhere, but I've never
I've seen it
since.
for sure, yeah. All right, we are at the Lion. I think his name's Maurice. They've named... There's a name for this lion. But
Really?
yeah.
I just figured it was Metro.
Right. All right, we ready?
Let's do this.
We're going to hit play in 3, 2, 1.
Nice
We're
kitty.
off.
Yep. And there's those damn dots again.
Yep.
And that's still not Sean Connery.
Nope. Bob Simmons is his name. He's the like stunt coordinator, I guess, for these movies.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
kind of
think
cool.
I think it was just on hand. It was like, from a distance, throw this hat on you and you'll work.
All right, we jump right into it here.
Yeah.
Guys walking in unison pretty good. Little known fact, those two are in a synchronized swimming team.
Was that listed on their IMDb page and special skills?
Yeah, it's just not in Google, so don't Google it.
It's totally legit, though.
Yeah, totally for real.
All right. Can you clarify the need for waterfowl decoy while wearing a wetsuit?
I thought, whoa, what?
Oh, yeah. The grapple gun.
You already got a gadget right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would have been better if he had a piece of trash on his head
Yeah.
floating through. More believable.
So already we're off to a nice little start, I think. Little action right away, and not sure what's going on or why Bond's in his.
He's got some serious intel though.
Yeah.
And swanky.
And the sets. I mean, look at this. There's almost too much going on in this room. Because they've got packages and nitromethane. And that ceiling is great.
And Sean Connery looks like he's 45, but really 36 or 8.
Yeah. I like the I guess it's C4, the tube.
Yeah.
But the squeezing it out of the tube is just for audience sake. Like, you wouldn't, if you were really infiltrating this base, you wouldn't need to squeeze it out, I'm guessing. You could have left it in the.
Yeah.
But
it looks cooler, and you know what it is.
Right.
That's
nice. How great is this?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
The wetsuit with the tuxedo, yeah. So obviously, they got that from True Lies. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, totally.
That was this is Karim Bey's girlfriend from Russia with Love, the dancer.
Oh yeah,
no. Yeah.
Nice.
Probably not the same character, but same actress.
Smooth. Heroes don't look back at explosions.
That's right. And this all takes place in Mexico. It kind of, I mean, not knowing that, it kind of reads as Mexico, just the set decoration and everything, but
all right.
Yeah.
Off the bat again.
And I didn't realize that till now, that this is the same girl again.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, just now that I kind of knew who she was, seeing her face now is...
Looking at her, shake her.
Well, yeah.
Moneymakers.
Yeah.
See her face. I don't know if you noticed, but her face was in that earlier shot, too.
Was it? Hey, I don't know if you're right about that.
Yep, pretty sure.
We'll see about that. So this eye gag is...
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. It's very Alfred Hitchcocky.
Yeah. It's a good little scrap.
A lot of grunting going on.
Right. I like that flip, that
nice.
jump over his back.
I think this guy has to be a stunt guy and not really an actor, because his moves are pretty sweet, but he's acting facially.
Yeah. Takes a long time to go for that gun, though.
Oh, that's gonna ruin your weekend.
I think he actually got a little burnt from the stunt guy. Got
I would not
a little
doubt
injured.
Jeez.
Shocking. So Karim Bey's girlfriend is really falling on hard times. Here we go.
There it is.
I think the first time I ever saw these, movies, I didn't appreciate the songs, especially like this one and some of the other Shirley Bassey songs. But I think it's now it's one of my favorite songs, I think, for Bond.
Is this? I think this is the first time I've seen like footage from the movie.
But the weird thing is they're playing footage from the first 2 movies.
Oh, so it's kind of like a recap. I
Kinda.
just saw Odd Job.
Right.
You know?
Oh, I guess they mixed them all 3 movies then. I read that they only used the first 2, but I know that the end credits, they kind of do the same thing, and it's footage from Goldfinger. But so yeah, it must be a mix of all 3 then.
I wonder if there's a footage of the dragon from...
Oh.
I can't even remember the name of the first one.
Dr. No. Yeah. I kind of liked the license plate flip over her mouth. Okay, so it is footage from Goldfinger.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird to do that, like show footage of the movie
It
that
is
you're
weird.
gonna watch.
I'm not a big fan of it. The projection on the woman is cool, but I wish it wasn't projection of the movie itself.
I thought I read somewhere that it might be some extra. Oh, that's from the.
Yeah, there you go. That's him
second
running
one.
from the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a mixture.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering if this was like maybe extra footage they had or something.
Sure.
I thought I read something about it being leftover footage.
Right. But that's what's her? This is, I want to say Shirley Eaton, or no, this is what's her name? The woman that they're projecting all this onto plays Dink at the masseuse or kind of the lady at the Miami whatever hotel. So she had the 2 roles.
I'm sure this one was tough.
Yeah.
It's weird looking.
Yeah.
Looks like a weird alien.
That pinky is weird.
I heard Shirley Bassey almost passed out holding that
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
See, like right here, awesome shot.
It's a great
Like
shot.
it looks so clear. It looks modern.
Oh yeah, I mean especially on Blu-ray, it looks really good. If you're not watching these on Blu-ray, you should be. So what's wrong with you?
I highly recommend it if you have the means.
But there's something weird to me about Bond in America. Miami kind of works for a location, especially when you see it like this.
Yeah, because it's basically Havana.
Yeah. It has some that international flavor kind of thing, but just Bond in the U.S. is just strange for me. This is great.
Oh yeah. It's not like he's in Iowa, so
right. That's true. But
at least it's internationally.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot from the pool to here.
That was great.
Like, ladies.
So here, this is Felix.
I think I won something. Please hold technical difficulties.
Yeah. So here we meet Dink, and that's who was getting the projection. So the weird thing is, obviously, that's an obvious projection shot. But I guess he's the only one that actually goes to Miami. Keck Linder, the guy playing Felix here, he's the only one in the movie that goes to Miami. Everything else is done via projection.
So weird.
Yeah. But I guess his scenes in Miami were all filmed while Sean Connery was doing a film in the U.S. somewhere else. So they couldn't have him on location.
Too popular.
Yeah. But Felix is tipping him off to... Here's our bad guy, Goldfinger.
Wonder how you could tell that's Goldfinger.
Yeah.
So James was in his powder blue as usual.
You noticed.
Yep. Now I'm looking for it.
Yep.
Anytime there's water involved.
Yeah.
It seems.
That's true.
bikini ladies.
Well, it is Miami.
I know, but I like those odds.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then all the guys are just old men. And,
No. Well, that's Florida.
yeah.
Whoa, it's so real.
It's like you just reach out and...
I think they had better effects on Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's so weird. Man.
Alright. So...
Is it like a one piece?
Yeah, it's like it's his terry cloth powder blue onesie.
He's got a little jumper.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, it's
I
great.
didn't notice that before.
Yeah. All right, we're back. We had some audio little difficulties and dogs and phones and
Yeah, if you hear panting, it's not us. We're not.
yeah, we're not that into Bond's
Yeah.
terry cloth onesie here. Now,
Although
well, it's not just the dogs.
check that. Oh no, onesie Bond. Ooh.
Bond, James Bond.
So is that earpiece supposed to be fooling anybody?
I don't
Especially
know.
like
Because I gotta wonder at the time, is that like cutting edge? You know, is he being discreet with it? Because it's plain as day.
Yeah, and they don't have earbuds yet.
Right. Now, I read that Goldfinger is wearing a Spectre ring here, a gold Spectre ring. But I haven't confirmed it. I haven't seen it. If he is wearing a Spectre ring, I think that'd be pretty great. But on one hand, it's kind of cool that Bond is, you know...
Oh, that
okay.
ring that... Oh, that's the
I
different guy. I was looking at the wrong hands.
Well, that would have been his hand because you'd be seeing the other dude's cards, I think.
Yeah, I was looking at the guys holding the cards.
Gotcha. So it'd be interesting to see whether it's confirmed or not if Goldfinger does work for Spectre, because they make no mention of it, so... That nod. So Goldfinger obviously is cheating
Nice.
here with the help of... I don't know if she's said her name yet, but... is that Jill or Tilly? Jill Masterson. She works for Goldfinger and basically just helps him cheat.
Until today.
Yeah. It's kind of nice having okay, that's not a Spectre ring.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't. It's probably his like initials, or it's probably a U or something for gold.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Okay, so we can put those theories to bed that Goldfinger works for Spectre. So I kind of like that she works for the bad guy, but she's not evil. You know, she's just doing a job.
She's a gold digger.
She's a
Whoa. And I'm out.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was me dropping the mic.
Right. I like that she's kind of, you know, not uptight. She's not, you know, she's loose and down for a good time or whatever. And I didn't mean loose as in, you know.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah. You know.
She's loosened down for a good time.
You know.
Don't be uptight,
Right.
cat.
But a lot of times, like, Bond has to really seduce, you know,
Yeah.
women that have no interest in, you know. But I like that she's just down, you know, for it regardless.
She's what we'd call a good time gal.
Yeah. I like that, you know.
She's like, hey, let's have some fun. And
Yeah.
Bond abuses her.
Right.
Yeah, she's got some eyebrows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there's this tattoo again.
Yeah. If you're a secret agent, you just can't have a tattoo. Gives you
Yeah.
away. They should have made it like some kind of scar or something,
Yeah.
like a burn.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Make it badass.
So here we get Bond, trash talking the Beatles, which, I mean, 64, they kind of started around 63.
Well, that's what my dad is too.
So they were relatively new, so they got lucky that they picked a band, that had real staying power.
Yeah.
Because else the reference just wouldn't have really held up. But yeah, I think I've heard you say your dad's not a big Beatle fan.
No. He went into the army before they came out. When he got out, he said all the dudes had long hairs and he couldn't tell who were the chicks and who were the dudes.
Nice. I always like these slat little dividers next to doorways, and always gives it that 60s retro feel.
Whoa.
There we go. Just a classic, timeless image.
I remember that Mythbusters did the...
Yeah.
Was it somebody could die if they didn't...
I guess when this was written and when the movie was out even, there was, I guess, this theory that part of our body breathes through the skin. So yeah, the idea here is that she has what I think they call it epidermal suffocation or something like that. So,
because I think they said you had to leave a little spot on the back,
right, the base of the spine. But and even for doing this scene, her stomach is clean.
Yeah,
because they even thought then that she may die if we completely paint her. But I like that Felix asks if it's Dink.
I mean, if you think, if your pores are clogged.
Now, and that paint, I could buy, yeah.
You can't sweat and cool off. Or...
I'd buy it now if they would have said it was lead-based paint. Yeah. Maybe she could die from that. I'm not a scientist yet, but...
Yeah, I think on Mythbusters it just increased heart rate and there was some physical effects, but...
Yeah. Well, so now we're in London at MI6 and...
We didn't get the... opening door, throwing hat.
Yeah. But I like that you see the remorse. I like that.
Is that the first lady he's had die?
I'm
trying to think.
Let's see. Do they all live in Dr. No?
That's just that dumb lady.
Yeah.
Dr. No.
Yeah, she went off to jail or whatever, and From Russia with Love, there's the Gypsy girls.
They're just fighting. They live, though.
And then Tatiana, she lives. So, I guess it's the first girl to kind of die on his
watch.
Yeah.
Freaking odd job. Got the jump on him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, still got that leather-padded door.
Yeah.
And the multicolored phones. Here we are. Moneypenny's little reception area.
Yeah.
And the hat.
Yeah, I like that he always has the hat, but we don't get to see him wear it much.
No. Gets thrown all the time in this office. She looks old.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, and she's a pretty lady, but she just doesn't, I don't know, look as fresh-faced, as long as he does. Which I guess is the whole...
Well, it's because everyone knows men get distinguished as
right, that's the
women get
part.
Plastic surgery.
Yeah.
And then they look like weird fish.
Yeah. It's a nice room. They're meeting with the guy. Let's see. This is Colonel Smithers, which just a great name. And he's like the head of the gold bullion depository for
For
British,
Oh.
Britain. This is always nice when Bond will show up, like, you know, show up and with his knowledge of something. Here it's brandy. They touch on it, in other movies where M will say something and Bond will just know every detail about it automatically. And here it's brandy. So basically, they suspect Goldfinger of, moving his gold around and selling it and for higher prices in other countries, and which doesn't seem illegal. Kind of, I mean, you can sell your stuff at a higher rate, wherever you can get it. I mean, that's more power to you, right? But
I mean, that's capitalism.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's.
I mean, they sell stuff here a lot more high price than we
Yeah.
do, like in say
Right,
China
yeah,
or
yeah.
India or someplace.
Yeah, I guess it goes to the import-export kind of thing. There's some Nazi gold.
Must have been a big thing because that isn't in a lot of movies. Nazi gold.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. Well,
Mhm.
because this is 64, so probably a lot of that gold would have been popping up.
Oh yeah, and like South American countries and
Yeah,
all the refugees from.
Yeah. Now, this is great. I love Q, but I especially like seeing Q, in his element.
Yeah, in the lab.
Like, look at this guy in the background, just looking off so that
Yeah, this is what I was waiting for with Q.
Yeah, Bond just was informed that his Bentley is no more, and there it is. Pay attention.
So that's a simple but cool
It's great.
gadget.
Yeah, I mean the car itself has to be the best gadget. I think it counts as a gadget. Q even looks pretty young here,
Yeah.
and he always looked old to me. But
It's the flux capacitor.
yeah. If you're gonna make a time machine, make it in style.
Yeah, this is way cooler than a DeLorean.
This car, I guess, sold in 2010 for $4.6 million at auction.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I should have looked up how much car companies paid to be the Bond car as it got more and more a thing,
yeah. I guess the books always had Bond driving around in a Bentley, the green Bentley convertible
Mhm.
that we saw briefly saw,
Okay.
but kind of like what happened with the gun. A fan wrote in to Ian Fleming and said, "Oh, Bond shouldn't carry a Beretta; he should have a Walther." Something I think happened similarly with the cars. Someone wrote in and said, "There's no way Bond would drive, this old stodgy Bentley. He should be driving an Aston Martin."
Yeah.
So everything I've ever heard, that's kind of why they switched to giving him an Aston. So
I saw trivia that they wanted Orson Welles to play
yeah,
Goldfinger there. I'm wondering if that's why they picked a heavy actor for, like,
Could
do
be.
they have like a body type and
maybe. And this guy got the part because, you know, they asked him if he could speak English. And either Gert Frobe or his agent lied and said that, oh yeah, he can pull off a English accent or English language.
Nice.
Wasn't really the case.
That was an odd job wearing a Spectre ring.
Oh, that'd be great.
I just saw a giant ring on his finger, but I think it's gold, so I'm guessing it's...
Bond's caddy. This guy's great.
If I was Bond's caddy, I'd want that jacket the guy in the lab had that's bulletproof.
Yeah. It would seem like I love anytime Bond just gives himself away, like, you know, casually throws it out there that he's onto him, or
that wasn't so casual.
Right.
Clunk.
Yeah. I just love it when Bond just disregards like every, spy spy rule there is about keeping your cover. He just
he's not
I'm here investigating you, and
it's not like Splinter Cell where he's in the shadows.
Right. Yeah.
He's out in the open under his own name.
Playing golf. Just it's great because you'd think of golf is kind of a dull game to some people, but for me it works in this movie. It's a fun little battlefield.
I like Odd Jobs. Just stern demeanor.
Oh yeah, and this is kind of what I think of when I think of a Bond henchman.
Yeah,
because I love Red Grant and From Russia with Love, but I don't think of him as a henchman really. The Odd Job is a henchman, you know.
Holy hell!
Yeah,
that is rough.
So I didn't know that part of golf was you played with, I guess you each know what ball number you have, and if you don't have the ball you started with, then, I didn't know any of that. This is nice. Bloop, blink. Pulling the old Great Escape. I'm not really expecting that. That's nice. Nice little moment with. It's nice anytime Bond kind of is getting one over on somebody.
I like that smug look.
Yeah. It's great.
Ooh, Bond, you devil.
And at first I kind of thought, that I like it when Bond cheats, but Bond really isn't cheating. He's just delaying Goldfinger's cheat.
Oh yeah,
just delaying exposing him.
That was close.
So close. Tension, just. I mean, like I said, you'd think a golf scene, because it's playing out pretty long.
Oh yeah,
It's a long golf scene, but it's exciting. Not exciting, but it's
You're
interesting.
Waiting, you have anticipation.
Yeah, so it's really well done. I like the way that Connery plays it, just almost mocking how how sorry he feels for Goldfinger.
I like that he couldn't have just won it. He had to make him think he won it.
Yeah.
And then snatch it away. Beep.
Just the stroking of the car.
Wow. He's lost a lot of money with good old Bond so far.
Oh yeah. It's a strange build-up for our villain here. I mean, we haven't seen him do anything overly evil. There you go.
The most impractical weapon.
Yeah, it's pretty gimmicky.
But still classic.
Oh, it's incredibly classic. I think the hat trick would have worked a little bit better maybe in the 70s with some of the Roger Moore movies. Like, you don't necessarily think of gimmicks with these older movies, but it's not bad though. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would have been like, oh, shit. Do not shake his hand.
Right. Our tracker working beautifully.
Yep, the map is lit up.
I like the AU1 on the license plate. It's a nice little touch. I'm surprised he's not flying on his own, solid gold jumbo jet.
Yeah, he's gonna have a airplane that'll hold all his toys.
Yeah. We have guests.
Chicks, man.
Alright, what does that say? Southern Municipal Airport. I mean, the establishing shots are great.
Yeah.
The projection shots, not so great, but I'll forgive them when they've got a shot like this where they're just driving through the Alps, I guess, or...
It's Geneva.
Yeah. Switzerland. Oh, that would get old.
Yeah, I think that was him being genuinely pissed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, God damn it.
You're going to pay me so much more for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it showed Goldfinger relaxing and him being tense, so it was kind of a good juxtaposition.
I don't think I noticed that. I mean, I noticed that I didn't put it together that they were...
Or he could have just been pissed at the beeping if it was actually beeping.
No, but I like it. You're right. Disciplined. No, Ford gave them a Mustang, which the 64 Mustang hadn't even been released when they were filming. So this movie would have been the first time people, would have seen a Ford Mustang.
Cool.
In a movie, anyways.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a nice little shot.
Yeah. Awkward zooming out. But
Yeah.
not exactly the smoothest. Like, she would have really missed.
What's that?
I think she could have got him.
Yeah.
He was perfectly still.
Right. So yeah, we don't know why someone's taking shots at James.
And he probably banged her and
Yeah.
her sister,
Well, yeah.
Kind of like the Blues Brothers,
Oh yeah.
who went out on the wedding after her father spent thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right,
I believe you just tried to shoot me.
Yet James is turned on by this.
Oh yeah. He loves a good assassination attempt. I did notice that they, while Bond was like just casually driving through the Alps, they were playing the Goldfinger theme instead of the Bond theme. This is great though.
Yeah.
The tire slice, the chariot. Wow, that little.
That was a weird cut.
Yeah.
I've seen better YouTube videos. Oh, how did that happen?
Double blowout.
Yeah, that tire's defect caused your entire car to get scratched all the
Right.
way through and torn to pieces.
Does he know this is the person shooting at him? I guess he
It's
does
the only other
because
person he's really seen.
yeah. Especially, I mean, obviously he puts it all together pretty quickly. He knows that that's a gun case.
It's Bond.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he would have done that to a normal
Right.
tailgater.
But then does she know that that's who she was shooting at? Because she doesn't play it like she knows.
She's just much better spy than
Yeah. This whole part's a little strange.
a lovely spot.
Nice deflection.
It's so weird how Bond can be so clever sometimes
Yeah.
and then so just stupid.
Right. Like the maps are in Swiss or
Swedish?
Swedish? No, be Swiss.
No, it's Sweden.
Right.
Duh.
This would be Swiss.
Birdie.
Like, wouldn't the maps be all in English?
Well,
Or a little more
It's James Bond. He's
true?
bilingual.
I guess so. It's a nice little gas station here.
Yeah. Camping too.
Yeah. The car campers right off the highway.
Yeah, that must be very peaceful. The
Yeah.
gas station going bing 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 all freaking night long.
Let's look at that car though. And I guess Auric basically means gold in Latin. So his name is Goldfinger.
That's how much he likes it.
Oh yeah. Bond out for some bird watching. That little binocular scene looked animated. Like the guys walking looked fake, and
It's claymation.
yeah,
Was it Harryhausen's work?
yeah. I like Bond in his covert fatigues.
When he's actually being a spy.
Yeah, you don't get to see it often, but I kind of like it when you do. So is that entry strictly forbidden?
Maybe. That's a pretty good guess.
That's my.
James Bond was the first parkour athlete.
That's right. So here we get to see them breaking down the Rolls Royce, which is actually covered in, well, made of gold, I guess.
Yeah.
But made of gold, and then they painted it. So that's how he's getting his gold across the borders. It's kind of a good little plan. Seems like a slow way to get your gold in, you know. 6 trips a year, I guess he says.
So I'm guessing he found the tracking device. If he's
I guess they would eventually.
Yeah. Although it's so high tech, he may not know it's a tracking
Right.
device.
That guy that Goldfinger was meeting with was Mr. Ling, and he is part of the Red Chinese government, or I guess China. So then all of Goldfinger's, like, you know, Chinese little henchmen are all kind of on loan to Goldfinger from the Chinese government. So,
Makes sense.
yeah, it actually kind of does. So. You know, walking around with your rifle at your waist like you do. See, she wouldn't have tripped it if he hadn't jumped on her.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally right in front of her.
Yeah. So this is Tilly Masterson.
Told you he did something with her sister.
See, so she tells him that she actually wasn't shooting at James. Which seems...
Yeah, it seems... I've never bought that.
Yeah,
Like,
but...
I mean,
yeah.
I believe she's not trying to kill him, but...
It's weird. It's like...
Why were you so close to
right,
doing that?
exactly. And why would you shoot at somebody if there's somebody between you and your target, you know?
Granted, him and Goldfinger do strike a similar resemblance.
Right. All those pasty white guys look alike.
Yep. Just honkies being honkies.
Yep.
I'm white, so I can say that.
Oh, yeah. This is kind of our first action scene. Aside from the opening.
Yeah. We get to see some more gadgets.
Yeah. Get to see what the car can really do. It's a nice little chase, though. I like all the guys just scrambling in the car, like...
That guy looks like he can't even see.
Yeah. Hey, easy now.
Oh, no, because he's hanging out the window. There's all that smoke in his face.
Oh, you couldn't tell really, but I think the tail light pops down
Oh, yeah.
to spray out the oil. That's kind of nice. Oof.
So it's the oil.
Yeah.
It's all oil.
Right.
Dangerous, people. Watch out. Jeez. Somebody did a little extra work on that. Bond's just like, oh, jeez.
Yeah. The car chase projection has gotten a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Or at
I
least,
think it helps us at night.
Yeah. And you're just basically dealing with headlights and... Oof.
No.
Right to the dome.
Shouldn't that have chopped her head off?
You'd think so.
Or at least halfway chops it off.
So that's why I thought, well, because it doesn't slice her head off, then it must have just really stunned her. Like it, thought maybe Oddjob had a stun setting on his hat.
He's got an array of hats.
Right.
Some for
got his stun hat,
blunt trauma,
his slicing hat, his boxing glove hat.
Like, I don't even see a mark.
No, so that it's confusing. It makes it seem like she's knocked out, and that that she's gonna be with us for a little while. But unfortunately, Tilly's done.
These guys have some unfortunate outfits.
Yeah, but I guess the gold sashes are kind of supposed to be for Goldfinger. Subtle, I guess, but
they look like construction yellow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
So you're gonna have the hostage drive
his own, yeah.
Come on, that's Junior Henchman 101.
Oh yeah. This setup is great. This sweet little old German lady. I'm assuming, well, yeah.
Swiss German.
Swiss German, yeah. I like it because you know what's coming.
Yeah. Dude, you should have fired a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Back to the old lady. Oh. There we go.
That is awesome.
That's great.
It makes me think of Hot Fuzz.
Oh, yeah,
with the old lady and the...
Yep. Good thing we got those empty boxes right where you need them.
I think I was just hanging out on the empty boxes.
Yeah. I always... The chase scene with the guys hanging outside the car always make me think of Back to the Future. When they're chasing Marty and the guys are always just hanging outside the car. The crisscrossing of the cars is just a little too Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
This is really well done, though. The headlight.
Apparently that was a gingerbread house.
Oh, yeah. I like Oddjob figuring it out. Like, it's like, why did you crash? Oh, yeah. The mirror. I don't know why they had to speed it up right there.
Yes.
Is this the first time we see Bond like strapped down to a table?
I think so. That creepy part in Dr. No where he was sleeping.
Yeah.
And he was like caressing his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is the first time he's been like really strapped down.
This is a great little scene.
And has been duplicated.
Oh yeah.
And duplicated.
I like Goldfinger here. He's fun to watch.
Yeah. He's your charismatic villain.
Yeah. First laser weapon in a movie? Probably not. I bet the 50s sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how old the laser is.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. It may be the first time that it's like a beam.
Yeah.
Because before, like in that Superman movie, it was like a wave kind of effect. Like
that was probably more of a ray gun. Yeah.
But I think this is the earliest I could think of. Yeah. Just a laser beam. And the effect's pretty cool.
Though. Yeah. I think they've got a guy underneath the table, actually with a torch, because obviously you can kind of see the flame coming.
Yeah.
But it works. I mean, if I were going to make that shot today, I'd probably do it the same way.
I mean, the beam itself
looks pretty solid. You know, looks good. I got no complaints for, you know. He's genuinely concerned.
Yeah. He's like,
okay, good.
It's going for my moneymaker.
Yep.
That is Bond's Achilles heel. Don't touch my junk, bro.
Oh, that is a great line.
Yeah. I expect you to die.
I would like to see it. I guess you get it. Oh, sorry, I was distracted by the scientist wearing glasses. Not that guy. But I'd like to hear Gert Frobe's actual voice, which I guess he does say a few lines in the movie in his original voice, but it'd be interesting to, you know, hear how thick of an accent he really had.
I think he'd be sweating more.
Yeah. Bond, you know, where did he hear? Oh, when he was peeking in the window at the factory or whatever, he heard Operation Grand Slam.
He still could have taken out his junk.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he would have been powerless.
Yeah. Man.
It's like cutting Samson's hair or something, or whoever it was.
Yeah.
It's a lot of wasted space there.
Yeah. I gotta say, the 5 o'clock shadow is a good look on Bond.
Hello.
It's a weird smile. There it is. Look at his face. Here we meet Pussy Galore. About almost an hour into the movie, and
it's a pusher.
Whew! Look at that crushed velvet suit. So she's this is Honor Blackman, and I guess she was in the Avengers, the old British TV show.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen her in anything else. But she is the oldest Bond girl to this point. She was like 37 here. And
so age appropriate for
age
Bond.
Appropriate for Bond. And she'll stay the oldest Bond girl until Spectre comes out this year.
Really?
Yeah, Monica Bellucci, and she's 50. Yeah.
I thought Halle Berry might have been
she was probably...
She had to be close to there.
I don't know, because that came out in 2002, so...
Maybe.
She may have been 40.
I just always think of Halle Berry as older.
No, she couldn't have been older than 37 because
Yeah.
I don't know. But I like how how what was I gonna say? I like how polite Bond's captors always are, giving him drinks and just being like very pleasant.
And giving him a lady named Pussy Galore.
Right. Which is kind of weird because she is Goldfinger's personal pilot, right?
Yeah.
So why isn't she flying Goldfinger right now? Because she says that Goldfinger either showed up or will show up on his own another plane, another flight.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's
is it because he knows that she's a lesbian, and because she just flat out is in the book, she is definitely clearly a lesbian. So does Goldfinger know that Bond won't have his way with her if I assign if I assign Pussy to Bond?
It's kind of putting it to Bond because he can't figure out maybe why his charms aren't working.
Right.
And he's surrounded by women but can't seem to pull off his normal
normal tricks.
Lady hypnotizing tricks.
I like the peephole little tricks.
Because I wouldn't put that past Connery's Bond hitting a woman.
Well,
yeah,
we've seen it.
We've seen it. So I was gonna say that could maybe deter him from being quite as violent.
Yeah,
with his captors, but maybe not. Smooth.
It's an interesting little outfit they've got her in. Yeah. Long sleeves and bare midriff.
Like, what made him think of that name?
Pussy Galore? I don't know.
Like, it's just so weird.
Yeah, there's no good reason for it. I mean, because it almost seems like, well, Pussy Galore is the name we'd give for the parody movie. That seems like an Austin Powers, name.
Which ended up being a lot of vagina.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty great. But
it's like, how do you parody a name that's already a parody in itself?
I think I read that they were going to call her Kitty Galore, so that you kind of, you get the inference of Kitty and all that. And,
a little more subtle.
Yeah, a little more subtle. Not quite as in your face with, And in America, they couldn't market it as, Honor Blackman as Pussy Galore. They had to forget how they worded it, but
as the Bond girl.
Yeah, basically.
And Bond girl.
With M's line there of Bond being on top of it, I really expected them to cut back to the plane and Bond making out with the stewardess,
Oh, yeah.
Because
just the play on words.
It's so, the innuendo's there, but it doesn't get paid off there.
Yeah.
So.
Disappointed, Bond.
Yeah, you let me down. Oh, you know what? I think we breezed right past the martini order on the plane. You know, he asked for it, shaken, not stirred. Which, from everything I've heard, is completely the wrong way to drink a martini.
Is that how it is in the book?
Or have it served. I think so, yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It always sounded like a code phrase to me.
Oh, yeah.
So he knows who's who.
Right. Look at that station wagon.
Those two guys in the back.
Uh-huh.
They look happy. It's like, are we there yet?
Yeah.
A burn. It's a cool shot.
Yeah. All the planes.
Yeah.
Kind of weird because she's supposed to be like their coach, I guess, their mentor,
Ringleader of the
ringleader.
circus.
Yeah, but she doesn't fly with them, you know. But here we get to meet Pussy Galore's flying circus and all their
Pointy boobs.
pointiness.
Weird.
I read that some of the pilots were really men with wigs, but maybe on those long shots, but definitely not on these close-ups.
The one on the right, maybe.
Maybe. So the pilots are just a little odd to me. Like they don't have to be women, you know. It's fine that they are.
Well, she's a lesbian. And
Exactly,
has to be surrounded by women.
Exactly. That's
Everyone
kind of
knows
the
that.
only reason it seems like that they're.
That's just scientific fact.
Yeah.
Lesbians cannot stand to be around men
Right.
at all. It's like an allergic reaction. Ooh. I thought he was going to break his ankle coming down those steps from the horse.
Oh yeah.
That step over there.
Oh.
Sort of just kind of went a little wonky on the landing.
I've actually been to a horse farm in Kentucky, and they're quite nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like a farm.
I mean, I didn't spend time in the dungeons of a stud farm or a horse farm, but I'm sure they're also nice.
Yep. They're going to torture him
Yeah.
by putting him in a nice suit and letting a horse have its way with him.
Oof. But Bond could make a nice,
It's better than
like a
my...
prize-winning stallion.
I think this dungeon cell
Yeah.
is nicer than my dorm room freshman year of college. I know it's got way more room.
Oof.
The
Of course, the Americans hang out at KFC.
Yeah. But I'm surprised that the Colonel looked that old then, too.
Yeah, well, I think he was always old.
He's just perpetually 60 years old.
Right.
No, that guy walking
Yeah.
looks like a bad guy.
He does, yeah.
And that guy.
I kept hearing or seeing trivia that Gary Marshall is one of these bad guys. I can't point him out.
Huh.
But his IMDb credits him here. You know who Gary Marshall is? Yeah.
Penny Marshall,
Penny Marshall's
yeah.
brother, yeah. So I guess he's one of these guys, but yeah, I don't see him.
I keep moving around so damn quick I can't get a
Yeah.
good look at all of them.
But this set, though, is pretty
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Pretty
The horse little statues above Goldfinger's shoulder there, a little strange, and then obviously the mafia guy riding the little horse earlier was weird, but
I thought it was like somebody's cousin.
Yeah,
It's
special
a little
cousin.
special.
Goldfinger's face there. It's great. But this whole set,
Yeah.
Ken Adam back on set design here again, and just
Like, that's badass.
it's great. And this is just a control table.
Mm-hmm. Knobs, lights.
The windows. That room is great though.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a weird moment because Goldfinger's meeting with these guys who have all in some way like brought parts or equipment, something to pull off this job. I think Solo's the main guy kind of speaking up for the group, is Solo. And he, I think, brought in the bomb itself. But then I don't know what else everyone else brought. Maybe some other equipment, some of the army surplus, trucks and that kind of stuff. So they're all supposed to get paid $1 million each for their contributions.
I found it weird that all that fuss and he goes with a pool stick to point at a map.
I kind of like it.
That's so weird.
It is weird, but yeah, I kind of
like he's turning all these knobs and floors are moving, yet.
That's so great.
Now that is more like the map I thought was just a weird.
The map on the wall or the map on the
wall.
ground?
Like if you had this.
Yeah. Right. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's a little. Seems unnecessary. It's a great little map, and I read that this little diorama is on display at the Fort Knox Museum, in Kentucky. Yeah, they gave it to him, or maybe they bought it. I don't know, but it's fitting.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was accurate.
Apparently.
Security purposes.
Yeah. I like the waving. It's a nice little moment.
Hello. Is he trying to seduce him?
It kind of seems that way. Just the looks are little. But Bond's gonna do what he's gonna do. He's gotta.
I'm just saying.
It's creepy seeing Connery smile like that. I like it's just long enough that this guy gets concerned.
Seriously? Good thing you left the keys in the door.
Right. It's a good thing the little ledge up there for him to rest his, prop himself up on.
No, oh jeez. That's bad.
Yeah. Has Bond killed anybody yet? Oh, he killed the guy in the tub.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah. But is this his first kill?
But that dude looked pretty weak.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have had that much trouble.
And that doesn't look like the same guy.
I wonder if, how old that cliche of the keys on that giant ring.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you see it in, pirate
stuff.
And I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never seen that anywhere, so.
Yeah. I just dig Goldfinger. He's pretty great.
I think his accent's what.
Yeah, the voice acting is great.
Yeah.
I thought I made a note of who voice acted him, but
I wonder why that was so big with Bond movies and having.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, with the driving and everything I get, and the locations, and not getting crisp and clean audio, I get, but I don't know. They just really like this guy's performance. It was some previous movie that kind of sold them on using Gert Frobe. But yeah, he must have just had the look that they really wanted. So, but all the women are dubbed from Honey Rider to what was it, Tatiana previously, and it doesn't seem like Pussy Galore is dubbed, but she may have had to just redo her lines.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure she's English.
Yeah, I definitely isn't like someone else doing her voice, but I have heard that all the Bond women are dubbed for the first few movies.
It's gonna be so weird.
Yeah. And what is it about miniatures that just work in a Bond movie?
Just it's a cool way to lay out a plan.
Yeah.
I still like the one in Beetlejuice better. Solo. Descendant of Han.
That's right.
That's weird. There's like a cutout for that.
Yeah, that's a little convenient, but who could possibly be throwing Bond around? Pussy.
Pusher.
Thrown around by Pussy. What, this gun? No, I wasn't going to use it. Bond spends a lot of this movie getting led or like in captivity, basically.
Yeah.
He got driven around earlier. He's been, ever since Switzerland, he's been basically, a prisoner of theirs.
Nice.
So this makes the entire previous scene seem a little strange. Like, why did Goldfinger reveal his plan to everybody if his intention was to kill everyone?
Maybe so you could just make the getaway without them wondering what the hell was going on.
Right. I mean, the scene made total sense for audiences. Like,
yeah.
The audience needed to see the plan
Yeah.
laid out specifically, so that makes sense. But then to kill everybody, like, they could have left them all alive, and then they could have died later on in the Fort Knox raid, or could have left them around just a little longer, just to, But it works if you don't think about it too long.
Yeah, you gotta have that no honor amongst thieves
Right.
moment, I guess.
Yeah. I like the scene. I mean, it's a great little, bad guy killing bad guys. And shows everyone, I guess, what the gas can do. So.
Make people fall to the ground.
Yeah.
I'd be like, could I get a wimpy chauffeur, please?
Yeah.
Preferably not the weightlifting, hat-throwing freakazoid.
Mm-hmm. So far, Goldfinger's wardrobe has all had little gold touches to it. He's got his little yellow vest with this outfit, and so it's like every time you see him, he's wearing something gold.
Hey, he sticks to a theme.
Yeah. But they use some really nice restraint. They don't overdo the gold. Like
Austin Powers.
Exactly. I think that's what you almost expect. Gold-plated everything and gold this and gold that. But I think they do a good job of just, he likes gold, but it's not, even the yellow Rolls Royce wasn't like glaringly gold,
Even though it was made out of gold.
Yeah, but I like that they didn't overdo it. That car is great. That Lincoln. I think that's the was the Black Beauty from Green Hornet. Yeah, I think it's a Lincoln in that as well. Oof.
Yeah.
I've noticed that jump before.
Brutal. It may not have been as bad when it wasn't in Blu-ray.
Right.
Because the film would jump about as you.
Yeah.
Oh, smooth.
I like the gunshot there because you can tell it was just a tiny little white flash at the end of the gun barrel.
Yeah.
So they probably just went to that frame, put in a little white dot, and then but it works. I mean, because you couldn't show him shooting, even for the gun flash. It's a nice little cheap special effect trick.
But again, with the weird shooting position, the arm underneath.
Yeah.
I don't
know. I still like that they're using the Goldfinger theme throughout this. It's good music, but aside from the lyrics for the song earlier, the music itself is really great.
I haven't even listened for the Bond theme.
They don't use it much.
Yeah,
it's
the last one was all over the freaking place.
Right, because it's not the travel music anymore. It's okay. So the bit with the car here, it changes from they were driving up in a '64 Lincoln Continental, but I've heard different stories, different versions that either Ford wouldn't give them a Continental to crush, so the producers went out and bought a '63 because it's definitely a '63 that they crush. The front grille is a little bit different from everything I've seen online and everything. So they changed the car, but it's pretty subtle. It's only the front grille is a little bit different. But
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, but I guess. And then the other thing I read was Ford did give them the Lincoln as long as they put the Mustang in the movie earlier. So if you're going to crush a car, you also have to show one of our other cars,
Yeah.
So it's kind of conflicting stories about, were they given this car to crush or not? But they do actually crush, a car. Right? Hi, kitty.
So, okay, maybe I missed this on the first go around.
Okay.
But was the dude in the car?
Yes, he is in the car.
And there's no blood.
There's no blood, and my problem is they load up the gold in the trunk of the car, drive the car to get crushed, take the car back to Goldfinger, and they're going to extract the gold.
Yeah,
that it makes no sense. There's no reason for it. It's cool to see a car get crushed.
Yeah.
It's a great death scene and all that. It's a great moment, but
yeah, I mean, why not take the gold out before you?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not traveling over any lines, right?
No, why not leave the guy in the room with the other mob bosses and gas him out? There's it serves no purpose other than just look cool, which I'm fine with. I mean, obviously we're going to pick these movies apart just because we're commenting on them, minute by minute and everything. But I like that their Goldfinger and Pussy's relationship here isn't. It's a business relationship, I guess. It's not overtly like sexual in any way.
They're like equals.
Yeah, she's clearly working for him. You know, Now, he does tell her to go, put on something nice and all that, and so it's definitely she takes orders from him, but she doesn't like. She plays it well, like she still has, some.
I feel like she's always got like maybe a plan B.
Yeah.
If something goes south with the finger over there.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I think she's the first, I don't even think of her as a Bond girl because she's just comes across as so much more mature than all the other women we've seen. That she's more of a Bond woman.
See, that's what I always thought a Bond girl was like a tough, powerful woman.
And I think part of what makes her seem more mature and everything, she's the first woman we've seen in these movies with pants, I think. She's not overly feminized, I guess.
But is that because she's supposed to be a lesbian?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to make it...
Trying to butcher up or something?
Yeah. It's the whole thing's weird to me. Like,
it's known lesbians can't wear skirts or dresses.
Yeah.
They have to wear a pantsuit.
I think, the filmmakers thought, well, we got to make her appear this way to... This is a great little bit here of Bond breaking down the plan, pointing out how ridiculous it is to try and steal the gold. Apparently this is the wrong way to drink a mint julep as well. It's supposed to be in a sterling silver, tumbler, and I don't know.
I also thought they mashed the crap out of those leaves.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I would never want one because I think mint is gross, but...
Yeah. So I guess in the book, the legitimate plan was to actually steal the gold. But I guess people complained about the whole, it would take 12 days, I think it was, to actually steal the gold. So they rewrote the plot to be that he's going to contaminate the gold for the next 58 years. So it's like 2022 is when the gold's going to be. That's a little unclear as where the bomb is, where it comes from. I think it was brought in by Solo.
Yeah.
But they don't really...
He said it was thanks to him that they could do it.
Yeah.
But it's weird because Solo doesn't really know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe he's just got a piece of the puzzle. I don't know.
Right. But I don't think it's too important where the bomb comes from.
Yeah.
But I do like all their little interactions, Goldfinger and Bond. They have really nice back and forth moments. I also read they had to cut down this block of car. They had to cut it in half basically because the little Ford Falcon that they're driving in couldn't handle the weight. Which makes sense. You can't, put an entire car in the back of a.
It still weighs.
It weighs the same. So yeah. And her outfit here is basically a purple version of what she was just wearing. But obviously a little more low cut.
A little more cleave.
Yeah.
I got like stuck watching it there for a second.
Yeah.
I bet he's thinking, oh yeah, they're gonna get busy. I'm still waiting for a transgender Bond girl that surprises Bond.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is gonna be awkward.
Well, anything for Queen and Country.
He did seem to be into that one guy.
Yeah.
That was guarding his cell.
This is extra creepy. Just
Yeah, Connery's got some creep to him.
yeah, it's a little too much here, I think. The roll in the hay music is I could do without that, but
And that's pretty much gonna get you arrested.
yeah.
He was forcing himself pretty good.
Yeah. It's, different time. I guess that's just what you do. I don't know.
Well,
Hard to watch now. I know we've basically said that the last two movies with scenes like that, and it's, I hate to sound like a broken record and everything, but it's definitely, you definitely see stuff like that with, a different perspective now.
She was asking for it,
Oh, obviously. Dressing like
that. Jeez.
But here I would have liked to see, see Pussy Galore flying one of the planes,
Yeah.
Because really,
you see her in the cockpit, like in her
at
first...
the beginning, flying, the jet, but not... But no, I would have liked to see her leading this mission.
Yeah.
Because it's a fun scene. This music is really nice.
And it's like, why wouldn't you have the ringleader there for this huge...
Yeah. So I guess they only had clearance to fly within 3,000 feet, but clearly they went as low as like 500. Well, even lower.
Yeah.
And I guess because Fort Knox, they allowed them to shoot over the premises and everything. And that's actually Fort Knox.
Wow.
But they were supposed to stay, 3,000 feet up, but I guess on the day they just knew that they wouldn't really get any usable footage that way, so they just said, fuck it, let's fly as low as you can, and we'll just ask, forgiveness later. So seeing everyone drop here is
it's
some spots it's pretty good. The collapsing, but
it's just the canisters are so small,
right?
And they're so high. Oh, jeez.
I mean, they're just laying back like that.
Oh, the guy on the thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's like some of them pull it off pretty well.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, just slowly lower himself. The guy's already on the ground, like. Now this goes on a little longer than I think is necessary.
Yeah, I think we get the point.
Yeah, they really milk the hell out of the... But I guess maybe you want to show how many people there are, because they say 35,000 troops at one point. So I guess it's just to give you the scope of what that looks like and everything, but...
Boy, those look like American troops if I've ever seen them. Jeez.
American apple pie.
It's like, if everyone's asleep, why do you need to...
Yeah, it's a little strange why you'd need the troop transport trucks and And this part is weird. So these are civilians, right?
Yeah.
These are off-base civilians.
Yeah.
Who I'm guessing got knocked out by the same gas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come back to that later.
Yeah. They covered a large area
Well, not
of
yeah.
Fort Knox.
The shots are great. I like it's weird seeing a bunch of like dead, soldiers, dead, seemingly dead,
I just don't understand how that one car was
how it flipped over.
Flipped over,
yeah.
and then there's a shitload of guys underneath.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
After it flipped over.
Right. But I like the whole raid scene. I mean, they could have cut it down a little bit.
It's cool.
Yeah. It's really short pole vaults.
Alright, let's blow this puppy.
Yeah.
I'd be getting further away.
Yeah.
But hey.
Nice little explosion.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened?
It's a bit overkill.
What are you guys doing? Like the music. It's very military, but
It makes me think of Star Wars and like stormtroopers.
yeah, kinda. Little, plink,
It's kind of militaristic.
Yeah. And this is great. Freaking lasers in their truck. Making a good little sound. Ooh, 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 ooh. Why are movie lasers so cool?
It's just like the way they're built, I think.
Yeah.
And the thing moves a heck of a lot quicker than it did on Bond.
Yeah. Well, it's only slicing through like steel here. It was slicing gold earlier, which
It's softer.
is softer. So yeah, it should have a harder time here. Don't mind the dogs.
Made a cool sound effect of the door being dragged away. And here she is. Loads a little uneven.
That helicopter's cool. Just how the whole front of it's all glass and everything.
Yeah, it's weird how like the engine and everything's out in the open.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah. Did they explain where they get the code?
I don't recall.
Huh.
If it was one of the
Interesting.
mobsters' ties or something.
Maybe. I don't know who else would have had it.
Even for like a decrypting thing, that would have been insanely quick.
Unless it's like once you're in the room, obviously maybe it's if you've made it that far, Okay, so these guys were all pretending. Were the civilians in town pretending? Because who would have clued them in that...
Yeah, they're just dead.
But from what?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
It was not entirely clear if like it would really kill you in that kind of volume of air, like out in the open. Maybe it just because they were all in a room, like a confined space, whereas this was like 8 canisters, like the size of a microphone.
Well, I'll buy that the gas released from the planes and it spread out in a big enough area to knock everyone out and everything, but
I'm guessing it diluted it so it knocked them out instead of killed them.
Well,
but because I mean all those troops that just fell over, I mean, how did they counteract that?
Well,
or did I miss?
I wonder if you might have missed the part a little bit later. I'll point it out once they get there.
Okay.
Finally, we get a good army versus army type battle. I love that he pretends to be an officer
with a gun.
but the bright ass gold gun. Why do you sound German?
You killed one of those guys.
Yeah. It takes a long time to get this bomb open. I like how Oddjob is dedicated to the cause here.
Yeah. I wonder if he's just simple.
See, I don't know. He smirks and smiles a lot when he's taunting Bond, earlier, and I think he's pretty savvy, but
maybe it's his run that makes me think he's slow.
Yeah, he definitely, because he's not slow like Jaws appears to be in the later movies.
Oh, forgot about that one.
Yeah. I guess he was a wrestler.
Yeah,
this guy.
I read that. He's a weightlifter and wrestler.
Yeah.
Obviously the weights.
Yeah.
It's just such a stupid weapon.
It is.
It doesn't even move good. It flops around.
Yeah. This is awesome. That leap is great, where he just leaps, and grabs his head at the same time.
That looks like it's really light.
It looks like it's solid steel, but then he breaks it in half like it's a piece of wood, but is it just wood? I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, he picks it up with ease.
Right.
The dude breaks it in half with his bare hand. But it's painted like it's supposed to be.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Because maybe they were trying to imply that he's strong enough to just,
Well, I mean, he took the
steel
gold
in
bar.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can crush a golf ball.
Yeah.
Because that looks like it's another piece of wood steel. Maybe a toilet paper roll.
Yeah. I don't think this fight has quite the impact that... Like, it's too spread out and slow of a fight.
Yeah, it's not as good as the last one we saw on the train.
Yeah. But maybe they were trying to go for, here's Bond versus a really big guy that's way outmatches him, but I don't know. I think it just goes on too long for me.
And you'd think he'd learn.
Yeah.
And see what's going to happen.
I do like him taunting him.
Now he's worried because it's that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, oh.
Not right.
Hey, man, I was just playing around earlier. Like the smile. Boom. Apparently he really got hurt there, but he was dedicated enough to finish out until they said cut before he really reacted in real pain.
That was a good death scene.
Yeah. I love the gold behind bars. And apparently it's convincing. I believe that this is what,
Fort Knox
would look like on the inside. And apparently the audiences were very like, oh wow, they let him film inside Fort Knox, and no one had ever no one had ever seen the inside of Fort Knox, as a civilian. Yeah. So I think a lot of people were convinced that that's what it looked like. Yeah, it's a nice touch. But no, I guess they told Ken Adam hey, we're not allowed to see the inside of Fort Knox, so just go nuts. It's all up to you. You get to do whatever you want with it. And
yeah, it was pictured multiple vaults within the big vault.
Yeah.
Different levels.
Right.
Different kinds of doors.
It took forever to get that thing opened. But that's what I want an atomic bomb to look like. Looks like a bunch of used pinball parts, like Doc Brown promised us.
I was just thinking when you said that. I like the pinwheel.
I do too. I love it. I love it. This is what I want a bomb to look like.
I'd be like, I know how to stop it. Pull out one of these wheels.
Yeah.
/ cogs.
I love that he's just grabbing things like, is this what I should pull?
Yeah. He has absolutely no idea what he's looking at.
And so this guy, why didn't he yell to him 10 seconds ago, hey, I'm on my way?
Yeah. Knock it off, you jackass.
He doesn't say anything.
I like how he didn't go for a off switch.
Yeah.
He's trying to pull wires out.
Oh, I never noticed that. Said three more ticks and Goldfinger would have got what he wanted, but it ended on 7.
Yeah.
So I think they must have shot it probably both ways. Maybe they shot it with 3 seconds remaining, but then they thought, well, we obviously have to go with the 007.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he said it or if the caption was wrong.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Because I saw 7 on the clock when they stopped it.
I read that aside from gold, the Fort Knox used to have all the military's supply of opium for painkillers, for...
Yeah.
It's a good joke about the White House.
Yeah, good luck with a judo roll in a plane.
Yeah.
I liked his face right
yeah.
there. Oh, yeah. It looked just as good the second time.
Oh, man.
And that
the sound was probably the worst part of it.
And that is what ruined this movie for me.
Really?
It didn't ruin it, but it really... I did not need that at all.
And there's a henchman on the floor that you don't... You kind of see when Goldfinger first pops into the plane, but then they show him on the ground, so I think they must have cut that.
Playing his golden harp.
Would have been nice to see her, like, being a pilot, have her be the one that gets him out of the...
Yeah. You'd think a pilot wouldn't just go, fuck it.
Like the water explosion. And now she's...
Not a mark on them.
Well, yeah. But she's all about Bond now.
Yeah. He's always got to be making out near water.
Yeah. But at least they're not on a boat.
Yeah. They're in a parachute.
Yeah.
Finger.
All right. So that brings us to the end of Goldfinger.
Midas touch.
Oh, she does say Midas. I do have the lyrics here.
A spider's touch.
Yeah.
Such a cold finger. All right, I know you've all been waiting for this, but it's karaoke time.
Oh, yeah. let's tickle their ears.
Yeah. I think we'll tickle them till they bleed if we start singing. He loves gold.
He loves gold.
Although I wouldn't say he loves gold. He didn't seem all like everything gold, like you were saying.
Indifferent about it. Yeah.
It was just a power thing.
Yeah, I think because
money.
of the, as a kid you grow up and you kind of hear about this movie and you see the image of Jill Masterson painted gold, and then things like that lead you to believe that, it's gold this and gold that. And like I said, I think they do a pretty good job of restraining themselves from overdoing it. So that's kind of a nice, nice that they had some restraint.
All right, so let's get into the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Do you want to lead us off?
Sure. Did you do three of each? I don't know if just at one point we talked about limiting ourselves to.
Yeah, I can limit myself.
I mean, certainly.
We may overlap too. So.
Sure, that's true.
So if you want to do your cons first or pros first,
I think we do pros first.
Okay.
My first pro. That the Goldfinger really establishes what is, the classic Bond format. You've got the unrelated cold open, the intro title, theme song, the Bond and Q back and forth, the car itself, and the plot itself is fairly repetitive throughout, the Bond series. That Bond will investigate, meet a girl, get captured, defeat villain. Pretty standard plot format, but it works. So that's just I like what this movie sets up for the whole Bond universe. That's my first pro.
I think mine ties into that a little bit because I liked the fantastic upgrade in weaponry and gadgets.
Yeah.
Because that's what I think of when I think of Bond.
Sure.
And this one had what I was looking for finally.
Okay. My second one would be just Goldfinger as a character. It's one of those that he's not, like I said, he's not over the top. He's a little flamboyant now and then, a little overacting in some places, but I really like the character. And as far as his plan, it's pretty well thought. And every villain will have the same problem, so I'm not even gonna hold this against him. That had he killed Bond when he had the chance, blah blah blah. This plan was executed pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Let's see. My second one, probably that Pussy Galore held out the longest is before letting Bond turn her into a helpless victim. After they got busy, usually the girls tend to flake out and not be as strong as they once were.
Sure.
And she held out pretty long.
Yeah, and to that this is what I was getting to earlier with the civilians in town playing dead.
Yeah.
We kind of talked over it, but Bond points out, how did everyone survive? Oh, Felix tells him that they got a tip from Pussy because she had a change of heart. And so she warned everybody that this whole plan was going to happen. That's why all the army guys and Felix and his team, that's why they were all pretending to pass out.
So the canisters really didn't have...
Exactly. They were switched out with something else, something harmless. So that's why I don't understand why the civilians in town...
soldiers talk.
What... I guess that's...
They could have done a blanket statement to
the town.
Because it's a fort town.
Yeah. So I'm, willing to forgive it because it's you obviously need to see that to believe it in the moment because it's convincing that they are killing
missed
everybody. So
I must have been not paying attention.
It's just one of those little plot hole kind of things of but no. Where were we? Was that
number 3 for you?
Number 3 for me.
Yeah.
The set design. I gotta, I love Ken Adams' work here. Just like the previous movies, his budget was bigger. Just the Goldfinger layer is, it's a masterpiece. So and obviously the whole miniature, the villain miniature set is something that's been parodied for years and years after that. So that's my third little point.
All right. My third one is the plan itself by Goldfinger.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty unique that he's gonna make the gold supply of the U.S. radioactive in order to boost his own stockpiles of gold.
It's a good plan, and
it's not just steal it or
well, and I guess maybe
simple.
that's the whole book plan was just steal the gold, But I like that they point out that's
boring. That's not.
Well, and it would have taken
evil.
10 days just to haul it all away, So
it's just a good classic
evil
plot. That's
it is
not just as simple as it first looks.
Right. And it's kind of strange. We're 3 movies in, and we haven't had a big global threat.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, this is kind of because Western
it would lead to
destabilization.
like the financial downfall of the West, and that could in turn lead to bigger problems. But in From Russia with Love, it was just let's steal a code breaking device. Obviously, that could have bad implications later. And then in Dr. No, it was let's make some rockets not go where they're supposed to go. That was probably the biggest like threat level. This one by far is a better plot. I'm not.
Yeah.
I like this plot way better than the previous ones, but it's still weird to not have a world threat, I guess. But that's not a con. That was just a something I noticed.
Yeah. So
that
brings us to the cons.
Yeah, let's get into them. I've gotta say it again. The treatment of women, it's pretty terrible. Some of them are really good characters. I really liked Jill Masterson. At the beginning, I'm kind of sad that we don't get her in the movie very long. And then her sister Tilly, who I think would have been a good ally for Bond, for a lot longer, because she was even, I don't know who was in the movie less, her or Jill, probably Jill. But I would have liked to see both of them a little bit longer. And then there's Pussy. She doesn't show up until halfway through the movie, and when she does, it's she's introduced as someone very strong-willed, and but once Bond forces himself on her, she just falls apart, and from then on we barely see her in the movie. She doesn't lead the raid. I do like that she, in the end, is the hero, or one of the heroes. She warns the government, that this is all happening, but just they don't give her a lot to do. It's just kind of the common theme, common problem for Bond movies. So I've got a problem with that. So I'm gonna, I have a problem with that in this one as well. So at least I'm consistent.
See, my con early in the movie, the Miami scenes with the projection backgrounds,
okay. Sure,
and non-projection backgrounds, it was just jarring.
Yeah, it's pretty bad
and obvious.
Yeah,
so that was a disappointment.
Yeah. My second con is that just how much of the movie Bond spends as a prisoner or being led around. He just feels like too much of a passenger in his movie. It's a little one, but that's my.
Okay. Second con. It's more of a realization of seeing these three together.
Okay.
And Moneypenny and her lack of any kind of real role.
Yeah.
Like, at least in the last one.
Sure.
You got that one scene where they're overhearing Bond's conversation.
Yeah, that was fun.
But it's kind of weird. She's just in the beginning, and
yeah,
I don't know. I just find it disappointing that she's such a big character. You think in your head,
right? You think
she
she's
doesn't do jack squat.
Yeah. That's interesting. I actually don't have a third con.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of third myself.
Because I think we had talked about it before, and we were gonna do 3 and 3, and I decided I'm not gonna make up a con just to round out having 3, because there's nothing else. I mean, we obviously picked the movie apart, but that doesn't take away from the movie. I'm not, when I'm commenting on why does the gas knock out the civilians and this and that, it's not, doesn't take away from my enjoyment. So
it's just commentary watching it.
Yeah. So the only cons I would knock it for are, like I said, the women and the how passive, or just how how much Bond just kind of isn't allowed to just do his own.
Yeah, he's got a couple of spy scenes, but
yeah,
for the majority, he's just keeps getting caught.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you have any like overall kind of thoughts?
Well, I guess we could do that in the ratings.
Okay.
And why we rated what we did. I'll go first.
Point. Okay.
This one I put at a 4.5. I really like this one.
Okay.
It's what I've been waiting for Bond. It's got, like I said in the pros, the gadgets really were awesome.
Yeah.
And everyone's acting was pretty decent. Odd Job, though that is the weirdest weapon, is still cool in its own weird way.
Right.
And it just had like I don't know, it had a good feel throughout the whole movie. It wasn't like I think it only had like one spot where I thought maybe they could have done without it, but
yeah,
like with all the passing out stuff.
Yeah, I did. I noted earlier somewhere in my notes that Bond gets knocked out for like the third time.
But like even the long scenes, like the golf scenes, I still stuck with. So yeah, overall 4.5 for me.
Right on. Well, I also give it a 4.5. No, for me it's very watchable and enjoyable. It doesn't have the lull in the middle like the previous two have. And that's, despite having very few action scenes. There's really not. There's the car chase in the middle, then the Fort Knox raid at the end. Other than that, it's just a lot of interesting scenes. But the Bond Goldfinger kind of dynamic is really fun. That's my kind of overall.
Let me do the math. 4.5.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Average of that. I'm gonna guess 4.5.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah. All right.
So yeah.
So what's next on the agenda?
Next, I hope you're ready for more Bond, because it's 1965's Thunderball.
So next time on Bondcast,
Thunderball. All right. Well.
So yeah.
That
Thunderball with James Bond yet again.
That's right. And before we wrap everything up, be sure to follow us online. We're at Real Comic Heroes on Twitter, and just search Real Comic Heroes Podcast on Facebook. So we'll be back with Thunderball.
See you guys.
Thanks.
I think you got the point. James Bond is in operation. And what an operator he is in Ian Fleming's Thunderball. Have you seen everything you came to see? Now go back to your friends and report. Tell them the little fish I throw back into the sea. Hello! Thunderball stars Claudine Auger. Young, beautiful, trapped. Could be dangerous.
What sharp little eyes you've got.
Wait till you get to my teeth. Adolfo Celli, smooth, silent. Spectre's agent of death. Luciana Paluzzi, lovely to look at, murderous to know. Friends of yours, no doubt. Come in. 007. Danger signed with the world's most famous gentleman agent with a license to kill and license to thrill. 007. Guarantee sign of prompt delivery, night and day service. Ravishing redheads. Bronze brunettes. Honey blondes. The Bond women 007 style. Hallmark of today's greatest entertainment.